Hello Virgo, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel and or my Facebook page if you've come across this video on Facebook. So, so welcome. So this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus, depending on where Virgo is on your chart. So welcome everyone. And also anyone who's watching for anybody else, for somebody else who's is a Virgo, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't normally say that. So welcome to you as well if you're wanting to see what's going on for Virgoians in energy and for this month of April 2021. Okay, so I'm recording this on Saturday the 3rd of April to 2021, and so I'm just letting you know that because there is it'll just give you an idea of the energy around it if it's not quite resonating with you at this moment, at the time when you watch this video. So I mean, you could come across this video in about a month and it might make more sense to you then, and next month or the month after. But you could have come across this video like tomorrow and it may make no sense to you at all. So I just want to remind everybody that these reads are general reads, and to some degree they are timeless reads as well, because like I say, you may listen to this in a couple of weeks from now, and it'll make perfect sense to you right then as to what this whole month has been about in the past, but also where you are now and maybe coming up into the future. But some of you will see this more as a forecast and not really fully understand what's going on. So don't throw it right out the window. So if that is you, then check out. It may be that just wait for till the end of the month and review it again and see what and listen to it again and see how it pans out for you then. The other thing is check out what your other signs are saying for you, so that are on your chart as well, because they can help either bring a little bit more of a comprehensive overview about what is going on for you currently and or in the near future. Okay, anyway, so we're going to start. Oh, sorry, the other thing is I'd like to say and just remind everybody, if these do resonate with you, the reads and or the messages that come through, feel free to or open to subscribing to my channel, and also leave me a thumbs up and a like if it does. So that would be really cool, and a comment as well. Okay, so let me see. Well, I'm doing a mind, body, spirit, soul flow today, and it's just like the energy that's coming through with the guardians of the light, the energies, the collective of energies that are coming through here today, and with these reads. It's kind of like, I don't know where we're going with it. Hang on a moment. We'll just see. So we're doing mind, body, spirit, soul. This is and I'm using, the Voyager Tarot deck, this deck here. And so this is like the overall energy in a way for each area. But, we'll see what comes through as we integrate the story that follows comes through for it. So, and with a bit of an idea of what might be going on, and how you can move through it, and a bit of encouragement, what maybe, and something that you maybe not, that you may not be seeing right now. And or that maybe in a way that you don't see coming in that sort of sense. That's what they mean by that. Okay, cool. So mind. Okay, Man of Cups here. So this is the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups in this deck is it's come straight up. So there may be a male energy of similar age or older, okay, that is in your life. I'm aiming for some of you, okay? So there is a bit of emotion that's starting to come through there with that one. And there may be in spirit and or physical, but I'm feeling some of you, they may be a father or a grandfather that's in spirit. Could be, a husband that's in spirit as well for some of you. But others of you, I feel like this Man of Cups energy, like there's a lot of, and maybe for some of you, you may be in a space where there is a lot of emotional turmoil that's going on in your mind, and also, which is affecting your mind in a way. Okay. there's a lot of confusion actually what I'm getting with that, but I'm just feeling like this Man of Cups has come in, this King of Cups has come in to help bring, inject some energy into like becoming more in that calm space with your emotions, and your intuition may be feeling a little bit like heightened for some of yous as well. So, and you may be not understanding fully about what is going on, and understanding what that, discerning what your intuition is telling you, or or guiding with you to do, and like connecting with the soul energy as well. So there's something moving in that sense. And but I'm just hearing like this is like, I feel he's coming to help calm your mind, and some of you may be needing that right now. But I do feel like that there is, on a spiritual level as well, or in the sense of what the King of Cups offers as well. So he's also like, like I'm just hearing, he's more in that sense, he's more in control of his emotions basically. So to round it up, basically at the moment, that's all I'm getting with that one. So then we have the Seven of Wands, okay, that's come through with here as in the physical form. So it talks about courage, this card. So the Seven of Wands. So there is like, you've been through a bit of frustration and a bit of a battle, and you've been a bit defensive, but it's like now you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, and it's like you're moving through with a lot more courage than what you were before. So which kind of makes sense with this, emotional side. There's some sort of courage that's coming through, that you're working through. You're taking some steps and making some movements towards this more clarity, but more in like I'm hearing some more taking more action towards doing things for yourself, gaining more clarity, gaining more strength, gaining more courage. And the more you do that, become more confident, and taking responsibility for some things, actions that you may have taken, or your part in it. And it may be that there is, that has a negative energy in the sense of it may, because it's a Five of Crystals has come up on the spiritual level. So there may have been some negative energy that's around you that you may have felt on a spiritually or on a spiritual level, but you may be seeing that or feeling it like that. But it may be that your spirits are low in that sense, or the energy in that side, of sense, which is kind of like so there may be, for some of you may be going through something, or may have gone through something where you're seeing that the negativity behind it, your part and some other parts, and another person's part in there. But it's like, this is about you. I feel like on a spiritual level, like you're seeing what that negativity is about, and with a specific, and with a specific situation. For some of you it will be, for others of you it's like you're seeing, and leading from the others you're seeing like different negative situations and how they've come around and so there's something about you learning about being more calmer in those sorts of times, and like there's something about confrontation as well. So on a soul level, there is the Seven of Crystals has come through, and this one, the deck, it talks about dullness. So there may be, something that's going on where you are feeling that, because the crystals in this deck is like the swords in traditional type decks, but this energy that brings a bit of dullness around you. So there may be like, for instance, there may be something that's going on that you're not quite certain about it. Your energies may be a little bit lower, lowered because of with whatever is going on. But I feel like because the Ace of Wands comes in. So to bringing out around this new, like this lifting this energy. So I feel like you probably will have a sense of a shift in some way or form on a soul level. It's like, even though that's there, like that things are going to come right. So because the Ace of Wands is there, so there's a new idea or a new beginning, a shift in the way that you're motivated or you move, and in your energy levels basically. So something new sparks up basically, or something comes in interest, or it's like your soul is saying to you, just there is something new that's coming basically, because there's an illumination of energy to help you move past this dullness and spark through the dullness, basically. Because then we have the Four of Pentacles that's coming through here, and the Seven of Pentacles. I'll just shuffle this through and see where we go. So the Four of Pentacles there is like, you know, that's generally for me, you know, about holding on too tightly to something, usually money and that sort of thing. So with the Man of Cups comes through there, you know, the King of Cups, he has this energy. So there may be a little emotional attachment to some money. So you may be holding onto money and maybe not dispensing it out or dispersing it out in the way, you know, that you could be. And I feel like there may have been a sense where, you know, like from old times gone, you know, that limiting belief about how money is made and spent, and that manifestation of things. But also for some of you, so there may be a sense of getting your head out of that, and finding out and figuring out what your emotional attachment is to money, and how much energy you can put into it, to shift it, need to put into it. But also family, I'm hearing around that as well, and how money has been in the family. So the family trait, you could say. But there's something about like talking about, you know, looking into that. Not letting money get in the way, okay, as well. So you may be like looking, what I'm hearing is like, you know, contemplating with this card here on a physical level with the Six of, you know, Pentacles coming through here, that there may be something that isn't serving you well, like you outgrowing something like work, job, career, even something around the family, or maybe a relationship or family, you know, something to do with that, maybe not, you know, like stepping away from something. And it doesn't necessarily mean in a negative way. This is like, sometimes we just outgrow things, and we're ready to take, even though there's something that's working well there, sometimes it's not always, you know, we like, it's not always satisfying, you know, forever. And it may be just the next step to something that you're like, okay, I've reached that milestone, and now what else can I do to help to expand it, to help make this grow, to lift my energy or whatever it is, and to help, you know, bring in more money, more finances. And there's this kind of like, in a way, for some of you, I'm hearing like it might be a shift in direction in your work life. Some of you, it may be a little bit forced in some ways, but which is kind of making like, this is where this indecision is, or this decision is, what am I going to do and how am I going to do it? And it'll bring back, like in the mind, it's like with, you know, covering, you know, your debt, and, you know, your responsibilities, financial responsibilities and things like that. Because then we have the Lovers on a spiritual level. So in a way, there is something with the Lovers that's, you know, there may be like you're seeing or having or creating a different relationship with the way that you look at money, but also within yourself. Okay, so that shifts it gives you a different perspective on how money works for you, and you know, in the past and the now, but moving forward into the future. There also may be somebody that is, you know, that is coming into your life, where, you know, they may be able to have that, they may bring some ideas and you know, thoughts and around this money, energy, because money, you know, Pentacles is not just about energy, money, it's about energy too, I feel, and also about health. So there may be something that's going on around, you know, health-wise, that you may be looking at shifting your perspective in, like, say, your eating habits or your exercise habits, and there may be something going on with you where you're needing to make a decision. Do I go this way or do I go that way? But it's like, but there is something there, a new opportunity, and it may be that, okay, I'm going to keep doing this and try this and see how I go, see how that pans out for me. But I'm feeling like this is, you know, learning to be about you loving yourself. So this is where this kind of negativity is coming in, and there may be like a relationship as well for some of you, where there is, maybe they're coming through with this energy coming through there, that there may be a parting of the ways, you know, either moving into a relationship or moving out of a relationship. How does this, you know, affect me financially, my family, or families at the, you know, and whatnot. You know, it's just kind of like there's a little bit going, there's quite a bit going on there. So some of you is maybe in a marriage that's a separating, or maybe was in a marriage and separated, and you're maybe like divorcing, like, you know, and so there may be something about money dividing up, which kind of makes, there's this one here, there's a few things going on there. We're getting to that. So there may have been some negativity that's coming through between yous, two people who used to be in love, but you know, on saying that, but but the new set of love energy, they're moving into a new relationship. There may be something coming through there as well. That's kind of, I feel like, more on a spiritual level though on saying that, but there is two things going on. So with the Page of Swords, that's kind of like moving into across to the soul here. Energy is like, with this, you know, dullness going through there, and you know, and this new spark of energy coming through, it gives you opens up your mind, and so you're able to see like a different perspective, you know, and thinking in a different way, you know, and whether, what's that word, I'm hearing it but it's not coming out, and reflection, and on the way that, and how you reflect on things, and you know, process, you know, what is going on around you. So there is something there, but I do feel like there is, for some of you, there is, you know, this whole process is opening up a new way of thinking and way of dealing with things. But it's also, I'm hearing like there is a new, you know, this is about how you're communicating to do with this whole situation, because there's a sense of like manifestation with that, you know, and maybe I feel like some of you are seeing how this has come about. So it's like, okay, I need to like think about how I'm going to say this, express this, communicate this, and it may be quite confronting for the other person, or for you to say that to the other person. But this is how we become more in our power, because we're expressing ourselves. And if you go in there with, you know, love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, adventure, and prosperity and abundance, those sorts of positive sort of feelings, because it's like, it depends on the intention. Well, you might get a blast, but hey, you know, you're probably thinking, oh, we're going to get a blast, and that's what's stopping you from doing it. Or somebody may not see it that way, or blah, 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 blah. But hey, it's like, you don't know unless you do it. Okay, so there's one of two things that's going to happen. It's not going to turn out well, or it is going to turn out well. So let's go for that it is going to turn out well, regardless, because at least at the end of the day, you've got it out. You've needed to, you know, say something, communicate something, you know, give some direction, or some, you know, some encouragement, or some idea, or, you know, some advice, or just say your, you know, speak your mind about a specific, you know, situation, basically. And and sometimes, and just say your piece, and then just like step back. And it's like, sometimes it's like, I'm hearing like at the end of the day too, it's like weighing it up. Why is it that you're wanting to say something? Does it mean, do you really need to say something? Or is it going to, is what you're going to say going to like you know, like fuel the flames, you know, or spark off a fire, you know, in something? Is it worth that? So there's those sorts of things that maybe like you're thinking about things in a different way as well, because it is, you know, in how you communicate that. Okay, so it may be just through actions that you communicate what you're expressing. So it may be like, just like, okay, not getting involved with it, not lighting you know, the fuse, or like throwing gasoline on it by adding more to the fire. So is to the flame, and where it gets it. It's like, so your action may be, you know, like, I'm not going to say anything else because I know I'm not going to win. And it's not just so much about winning. I'm going to get I know that my point of view is not going to get across to that person, or blah, blah, blah. And they may be not. So there's a two-way thing. It may be that you might end up saying just something short and sweet and leave it at that. And so, but then there may be, depends on your situation, because some of yous will go in and you know, you really probably do need to like say something. And it may just simply be yes. It may just simply be no thank you. I do not have the time. you know. So then we're going into the mind side of things. So the star is in reverse there. So there may be this pessimism in the air, or the pessimistic sort of thoughts or thinking that's going in there. So this is where they're kind of going with that one, following on from that. Even though you've got this shift in mind, there may be still a little bit of pessimism there, because then we got the Justice card on a physical level here, which is saying, you know, and so, you know, if you're going to go in with that pessimistic sort of an attitude or thinking or feeling, that's generally you're not going to get what, you know, that justice won't be prevailed or served in a way. There, you know, the balancing of the scales of that justice of the, it's not even the right word I'm trying to figure out, it's like, there's all this thinking, I kind of feel like I'm picking up on your energy. It's like, so I can't think. So, but there is like just grounding yourself as well. But the Star of Hope, so it's turning around and being more optimistic and, you know, being hopeful, because there are some new beginnings in that, because this is what the Page of Swords brings too, a new way of thinking, or a different way of thinking, okay? Getting your heads like out of the clouds, basically grounding yourself. The clouds are still there, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's bringing yourself back here. However, into grounding, because she's putting, you know, water back into the pond, but also onto the earth. So there's a sense of balancing the chakras, as per se. And so every one of those stars there are like, is significant of a chakra, basically. So there's, you know, they're being drawn to that. So there's something about cleansing the way for a new perspective, basically, which is what this Page of Swords is there. But it's like coming from an optimistic, clearing a point of view, which will open up, you know, this balancing here of the scale of the justice side of things, that you'll get what, you know, what you put out for, basically. So there's shifting out that. So if you're going to be brewing up in your mind and thinking over and over and over again that this isn't going to work, you know, I'm too scared to do this, or blah blah blah. What if and I can't do that, blah 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 blah. That's exactly what's going to happen, pretty much, and then you get stuck, because this is here with the spiritual side of things, with this, you know, the Seven of Swords here is like there's some sort of deceiving that's going on there, and it may be like that's you deceiving you. So your thoughts and your minds that are coming through your mind, but somebody may be planting a seed. So it's like being mindful that you're not taken advantage of, and that these thoughts are your own thoughts as well. So basically, it's not letting your thoughts, not letting yourself run away with your thoughts, and unless it's something really positive. But this is like talking about, you know, something like somebody stealing something from you or deceiving you in some way. It's also about, you know, ourselves, like you know, I'm seeing it and I'm reading it, and what they're bringing through is like reminding ourselves, like if something is, you know, that there may be something around, or a situation where you may be feeling uncomfortable about going into or being a part of, or you know, saying yes or no to something. It's like, you know, but it's like this is about you honoring yourself. So this is where that justice comes into. So this in the Star, it's about honoring yourself, basically being in your own light, doing it as what you feel is right, is justified for you, and honouring you, okay, for your highest and greatest good, but also for the greater good of one and all. But there may be something that there that you, what I'm feeling with that last scenario that I just talked about being uncomfortable in a specific situation, or a certain, you know, a turning of events or something like that, and you're feeling like something is not quite right, or what this person is doing is not quite right, or this whole situation is quite right. You may be feeling like, okay, and it's like, okay, what I'm hearing is like listening to your intuition, but you're probably picking up on whatever it is isn't quite right. So it may be like worth more investigation, asking more questions and something like that about it, questioning it, basically. So that could be what it is that where they're talking about, you know, like expressing yourself. So, you know, asking questions, asking more questions, and it may be some of you may be feeling a little bit fobbed off with something, a certain situation. And so ask the question, keep asking questions. You know, a lot of us have been taught to shut up, don't ask any questions, and as we're growing up. And some of us have continued that that learning or that limiting belief, and we've accidentally, like our parents in some way have accidentally gone into that. It's an explanation, but it's not an excuse, however. But if it's a little bit like though, that subconscious thing too, we find ourselves doing things. So it's not about blaming anyone or blaming anything, but for some of you it is about that. But for some of you, I feel like there is somebody is in, or like trying, you maybe feel like somebody might be trying to dupe you, but your intuition is probably right. So then we're going into back to towards this the Six of Swords here, going back there. So there there's a sense of moving away from some sort of strife or some sort of whatever's going on in your mind and your thoughts and that sort of thing, which is interesting because we have the Seven of Swords come before that, so that would obviously normally come after that. So you're moving away from this strife, but there is still somebody in a sense that there's some sort of deceivership that you may have seen, which is why you're moving away from the strife. So in a way I want to turn them around the other way, but however, no, they've come through that way because it's in this line here, there is something on a spiritual level that maybe some of you is because of this negativity that you've let go of a relationship, or you've seen something that's coming up and you're moving away from that because you've seen what it is in that. So now you're moving away from that on a soul level, which is where your soul has been guiding you to move away from, or is guiding you to look at something and it may be not serving you well for your highest and greatest good and for the greater good of one and all. And sometimes if we keep hanging around doing something, continuing doing the same thing, we end up enabling the situation and making it worse, whatever that situation is for you, that is or that your sense is not feeling well. For some of you, I feel like you may be actually supporting somebody in that with going through something at the moment. Now here we'll see what we'll just see what clarifies here, or just to finalize it. See what 4 cards come out for the sign of Virgo for the month of April 2021. Okay. Now, no. I was my thought was cut it, but it's no, that's not it. So what have we got here to find out for the sign of Virgo for the month of April 2021? So whether we got there the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, so there's obviously a turning around of energy, with the 10 of Pentacles. So your energy may be starting to lift up. The 7 of Swords, there's that side of things again, but I feel like you're seeing that now, because for what it was, what it is, and you're moving through it, moving past it. But it's, you're aware of it, but it's not going to stop you from moving forward, because there is this, the 10 of Pentacles there talks about new energy, you've come to the end of a cycle of something, but also you're moving into a new transition of, the way of, financially, but it's also about family. This card here and what you've built, the foundations of what you've built, pulling it together now, and in your mind it's yep, I know it, I'm not going to let this stuff, even though there is this stuff going on, you're well aware of it because you're listening to your intuition. And it's just that's not my stuff, and that, but you're just going to walk through it or walk around it, deal with it basically. So I'm going to take this one, High Priestess, on a spiritual level, listening to your intuition. She's super amazing, intuitive, and and when we're in that, we end up finding out this is self-growth as well, but it's also about listening to your energy, reminding yourself about what energy that you're putting out, as to what you're giving out and to what you're receiving, and giving it, it's what I'm hearing here is this is stepping up in a way. Okay, it's your intuitive levels may be increasing a lot more. Then we have the King of Pentacles there. So with his energy coming in, very grounded, you know, he's seeing where he needs to go and how he's going to work it. So this is like, you know, obviously this is you, Virgo, the family, you know, very content in what you're building together as a family. But also here with the King of Pentacles here is like you're grounded, you're feeling more on a soul level, that you're in your space and you're can see the hard work, but also the clever work that you've put into creating this building of this family or families. Because I'm hearing like with this card here, there's like your family, but then also with your own individual family, but also with the other family, but there's a blended family coming together. So it's taken, you know, a little bit of time, but it's also but you've done the groundwork there. So I feel like you can see things and sense things coming in your mind now and projecting that forward in a positive way. But your intuition is serving you well if you listen to it, that is, as to how you maneuver your way around, even with this deception that's coming in here at times. Not necessarily of your own, but there's maybe somebody else in there for some of yous. Some of yous that maybe like there is something else, but you may be overthinking what with this other person or persons that are around there, but it's like not buying into that stuff, walking your own walk and talking, because this is where the justice comes in. And this is, you know, in the swords, it's like, because the Seven of Swords has come up again here in that sense. Oh, that's the wands, sorry. The swords is here. But even the Seven of Wands, it's like there's been a little bit of a battle, but you've been rather protective, but it's coming. I mean, you've sorted it out. You know, I mean, like, crikey, you've done really well. But then you're really grounded here. Like, you get to a point where this month it's actually, you know, this is working out. And everything, you know, even financially wise, it's working out. So long as I'm just going to keep cool, calm, cucumber, because it's panning out and not overthinking it. So I feel like there is a sense there now in a way where you're feeling more grounded in, you know, in your heart as well, but in all other chakra areas with this here, with the Star of the Hope and optimism in that way. So the Death card comes out like lastly, so which is interesting because this is about a transition that you're going through. You know, this Death card here, it's like something is ending, like you're seeing something at face value, because I'm just seeing these, you know, heads on the spears there. You're seeing things at face value, people fall at their face value, and you're not going to let them get in the way of this, you know, this success in this way, not just financially, but and that you're on that road to that, working together as a couple, as whether you're the male or the female energy, but bringing things together with your family, whether you're a single family, single parent family, and it may be, you know, you are a single parent family, or you're a family, you know, that is like, you know, a parent that is, you know, has shared custody. And there is seeming to be like, there is like, from your perspective, that, you know, things are kind of working out in the best way that they could possibly do at the moment. But you've put that, you know, hard work in there. For some of you, it is that single family, you know, parent thing, but you are maybe blending the families, and it may have been a bit of a challenge, but you've got there. So, you know, that's where this, I'm picking up more feeling with this King of Pentacles. For others of you, it may not be all of that. It may be like you're more focused on your business or your work, or just your family, on saying that, so that you're feeling that space now, that actually, or that sense of achievement. And for some of you, yes, I've done that, but now there's something else in the midst of all that, that there is that transitional phase where you're moving into something new, with the Death card, and it's like you're done with that, because it's like, not my stuff. And it's like done and dusted, and it's like you have a new perspective on things, where you're able to, like, you know, adjust. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave that there for you, Virgo. So with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement and adventure, from myself and also the Guardians of Light, who I think, You've probably heard me talk about the Zion energy as well, so they're a part of that collective as well, okay? Anyway, I shall see you in about a week or two with a interim reading, a message for you to just help with a bit of guidance as you go along throughout this month, okay? Lots of love.